Hey guys, John Fainer here with the green truck, our 1972 Chevy C10. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys the installation of the floor insulation and the carpet. I got both of these through USA1 Industries, and I will put links to them in the notes of this video. As you can see here, we got the floor repairs all done. In this shot here, you can't even tell. You can't see where we grafted in new pieces to the kick panels and the floor. So the first thing you're going to want to do is clean the floor so the installation tape will actually stick to it. So make sure you clean it real good. And you can also see that I've pre-routed all the wires that go back to the tank level sensor, speaker wires, anything like that. I've got those all taped in place where they're going to run under or near the edges of the carpet. One thing I didn't pre-run was the cables for the amp. The amp ended up being it's an amp subwoofer combo unit, but it ended up being an afterthought, and it ended up right there where my hands are, under the center of the seat. Anyways, you're going to get the insulation all laid out, and it's pretty easy to tell where things go, and you're going to secure it with this thin, flexible aluminum tape, or aluminum-like. This is not duct tape, but it is actual ducting tape, the stuff you're supposed to use on ducts. It's very thin, very flexible, sticks really well, and just conforms to anything. And this is just going to help hold these pieces in place while the carpet goes down. I got the standard insulation kit that will cover most of the floor, and it's not going to cover every square inch, but it is definitely a vast improvement from what was there before. I didn't feel the need to buy additional rolls of insulation and graft in pieces and cover every single square inch. I also definitely did not feel the need to glue any of this down. I'd seen that in some videos on YouTube by professionals. I'm not going to say it's good, bad, right, or wrong, but to me, if I ever have to go back in here for anything, like I did with the amp, I had to snake some cables under the carpet. I would not have been able to do that if I glued all this down. I don't see the need for it. Everything stays put when you get done. So I just used the tape to just kind of hold things put to get the carpet down, and at least it wouldn't be completely floating. But I did not like the idea of gluing it down at all. So I did not do that. Here we're putting the carpet in after I've got the insulation all taped down. I had this laying out on my driveway in the sun so it could get nice and warm, and it would be easier to work with. I highly recommend that, otherwise you're going to fight with it. It's going to come folded up in a box. It's going to have some shipping creases, but if you just get it out in the sun, it takes its molded form back pretty easily, and it'll settle down onto your floor really nice. Just kind of flop it in there, start spreading it out, get the molded areas sitting down where they're supposed to, and just kind of get it all situated. And one thing you may or may not notice here is I have the version of the carpet for the cab that does not have the tank, where it has the remote tank under the bed. You've got to be careful when you're making your selections that you select the appropriate things. Even if you've pre-entered in your info about the vehicle, you still need to make sure you get the right selections. I did do that. Somehow some stock numbers got mixed up and I got the wrong version anyways, but that's fine. I was actually happy with that in the end because it gave me additional coverage. So it'll go all the way back to the wall, and it'll cover like my jack storage area where it'll pad that and the jack won't rattle around. It's just going to be more coverage, more sound deadening, more insulation. And the only thing it required, as you can see here, I had to make some slits in the carpet for the fuel lines. That's another benefit. It's going to be just one more barrier where it's sealing around that entrance point where it comes up through where the fuel lines come up through the cab floor. So it just seemed like more benefits than not. It was a little bit more work, but it was definitely worth it in the end because it came out a lot nicer. It also gave another anchor point for the carpet because now the tank is sitting down on it. When you mount the tank down, well, now that carpet can't go anywhere. And here what I'm doing is I'm just cutting little X's where the tank mounting holes are going to be. And then I grabbed the help of my very nice and helpful neighbor and had him assist me in getting the tank into the cab. You got to get in at just the right angle, and as you can see here, you've got to slide the tank in behind your fuel lines and then come in at that angle and kind of swing it into place. You've got to get through the hole in the cab where the filler net goes through, and just leave the grommet out of the cab, work that in later. I found that to be the easier way. So anyways, thank you very much to my kind neighbor. Here what I'm doing is I'm locating the carpet posts. Here's a shot of what it looks like. It's just a little post that comes up off the floor, and it's got a lip to it, and this is what's going to help hold the forward edge of your carpet in place where there's nothing mounted down on top of it. So all you do is you make sure you've got your carpet exactly where you want it, and then I just took a Phillips screwdriver, a number 1 Phillips screwdriver, to center over the post, and I just wiggled it through. It's very easy to do. You can use an awl, but I liked the bigger size of the screwdriver, and I just wiggled it right through. It goes right through. And then right here what I'm doing is I'm using a really small screwdriver, a number 1, to press the carpet around the post. What I didn't want to do is cut an X for this because I wanted it to be nice and tight. So I just made a little punch with the Phillips screwdriver and then just popped it around it with the flat blade screwdriver. So now the carpet's all in. It'll end up being held by those posts, by the tank. It's also going to be anchored by the seat and your door sills, so the carpet won't go anywhere. As you can see, it looks really nice. It's definitely an upgrade over the original vinyl floor, and there you go. That's how we did it. Have a good day.